welcome to Full Moon Rising Yoga. My name is Karen. This yoga class is going to include weights. It's intended for those that would like to do a shorter class a few times during the week to help build up flexibility and strength. So remember, with yoga, we want to synchronize our breath with our movements, and we want to be present in our practice. So let's go ahead. We'll get started. I do have some yoga blocks. We'll be using these for bridges. However, if you don't have any, that's okay. Your feet can be on your mat. And then we're also going to be using dumbbell weights. I do have two weights. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and bring our chin to our chest. We're going to warm up our neck a little bit, then look up to the ceiling. Our chin to our chest. Look up to the ceiling, chin to our chest, and look up to the ceiling. Bringing your head back to center, let's go ahead and just look over the right shoulder. And then back to center and over the left shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Back to center, over the right shoulder, back to center and over the left shoulder. And back to center. Let's do some small circles with our shoulders, rounding them to the front, up, back. Some nice circles, warm up our shoulders here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead, gazing to the ceiling, exhaling through your mouth, lowering both arms by your side. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up, gazing to the ceiling, exhaling, bringing both arms down by your side. 1 more time, inhale through the nose. Nice cleansing breath, exhaling through the mouth. Let's go ahead, straighten out your left leg. We're going to keep our right leg bent, sitting up nice and straight. And let's go ahead, raise both arms up overhead. And then we're going to swivel just a little bit, facing that left foot. And then go ahead and hinge and just lowering down just a little bit, placing your hands on your shin, keeping your foot flexed. So it's a nice side stretch, keeping your chest raised a little bit, gazing straight. And then go ahead and release. Let's go ahead and switch sides, straightening your right leg, keeping your left leg bent, sitting up nice and tall. Sweep your arms up overhead on your inhale. And let's go ahead and hinge a little bit, facing your right foot. And then exhale, lowering down, folding just a little bit, keeping your right foot flexed. Then go ahead and release. Go ahead and bring both of your feet together and go ahead and just shake out your knees a little bit. And then go ahead and shift your seat back just a little bit. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to fold forward, keeping your back straight and keeping your chest open, gazing in front of you. And we're just going to hinge forward a little bit. A nice, easy, we're just starting out here, nice, easy forward fold. And then go ahead and release, bringing your knees together. And let's go ahead and to table. We're going to do a couple cat-cow to help warm up our spine and our hips. So let's go ahead, inhale on your cow, exhale, drawing your belly button to your spine, arching your back. And then inhale to cow, exhale cat, tucking your chin to your chest, and then releasing 1 more time. And then chin to chest into cat. And back to table. Okay, now that we're in table, we're going to move into plank pose, Phalakasana. But we're going to have our elbows, our forearms on the mat. So you're going to go ahead and lower your right arm, the palm of your hand on your mat, lower your left, and then go ahead and straighten your legs into plank, engaging your core. Go ahead and raise your right leg up, keeping it nice and straight. foot flexed and lower. Raise your left leg up, keeping it foot flexed and lower. Right leg again, raising that up, keeping your hips nice and square towards the mat, pressing your hands into the mat, lower, left leg up and lower. One more time, right leg up and lower, left leg up, lower. Slowly bend your knees, press your hands into the mat, come back into child's pose. Let's go ahead and move into your first downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet if you like. Dropping your heart towards the mat. And when you're ready, step or hop to the front of your mat. Slowly straighten your knees. And we're going to go ahead and roll up one vertebrae at a time. And then bring your shoulders back. Let's go ahead and shake out your legs. And let's go ahead and pick up our weights. So we're going to be doing alternating lunges. We're going to start at the front of our mat because we're going to be stepping backwards. You can have your weights down by your side, one in each hand, or if you like, you can hold one weight in the center with both hands. So that's completely up to you. So at the front of our mat, standing nice and tall, shoulders are dropped, chin's parallel to the floor. Let's take your right leg and start stepping back into a lunge. So we have a nice 90-degree angle, and then step up to the front of your mat. Back with your left, and then to the front of your mat. That's one. And let's get a nice pace going here. That's 5. Let's do 5 more on each side. Right knee's going down, stepping up. Left knee down, stepping up. Keeping our torso nice and straight. And one more on each side. And I'm dropping my knee just where it's barely tapping the mat to make sure I'm getting a full extension. So let's go ahead, come to the center of our mat. You're going to have one weight in each hand. So if you were using one weight before, go ahead and grab the other one. I have my feet a little bit more than hip width apart. And what we're going to do is a hammer curl, overhead press, bending the elbows, tricep extension, straightening the elbows, lowering your press, and lowering your curl. So let's do that together. Every move is intentional. Press, extension, lower your press, and lower your curl. I've got my pelvis tucked under, my glutes are engaged, my legs are engaged, my quads. I've got my belly button pulled towards my spine. That helps me engage my core. And I'm being sure to stand nice and tall. I'm not wobbling. Very good. Lower your curl and down. Hammer curl, press, extension, raise up and lower. Maybe you've got some great music going on in the background. Help keep that energy going. If I have music on, it disturbs the volume a little bit, but I hope you've got some music on. Let's go ahead and just do one more curl, press, triceps extension, raise up, and then lower your curl. We're going to go ahead, bring our feet together. We're going to drop not drop, but place your weights on the floor. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to sit on our mat. You want your seat about in the center of your mat. And want to keep our legs straight. Our hips are nice and square. Our seat is on the mat. I'll move these. We're going to do a forward fold. We'll start with our knees bent just a little bit. So with our forward fold, let's go ahead and raise our arms up overhead, making sure that we're squared off. And we're going to hinge, bringing our chest and our belly towards our legs. And then go ahead and lower your forehead towards your knees. Your palms can be on your shin or the top of your feet. If you like, you can move into straightening both of your legs in your forward fold. Slowly walk your hands up your legs, sitting up nice and tall. And let's go ahead, take our hands. We're just going to place them behind us with your fingertips facing towards the end of your mat, both of your arms. And you're just going to press your hands into the mat. Your seat stays on the mat. Shoulders are back. We're just opening up our chest, opening up our heart, gazing towards the ceiling. You can feel your shoulder blades coming closer together. Go ahead and flex both of your feet. You can feel your muscles engaging. Then point your toes and flex. Point your toes, flex. One more time. Point your toes and flex. And slowly coming out of that pose. What we're going to do is we're going to use our blocks and we're going to use one of our weights. So go ahead and take your blocks. You're going to put them next to each other. So that way they are a long way next to each other. It's just giving us a little bit of height that our feet are going to go on at the end of our mat. Let's go ahead. Our knees are bent, but let's slowly lower. Any opportunity we have to engage our muscles, we want to go ahead and take that. So we slowly come down to the mat. Because what we're going to be doing is pressing our feet into the blocks, pressing the palms of our hands into the mat. Our hands are just by our side. And you're going to push your feet in and then press your pelvis towards the ceiling. And while you're doing this, you want to engage your quads and your glutes. That's what we're going to be doing. So grab your weight and you're going to hold your weight on your hips. So a little bit lower than your belly. You can hold it with your hands. You don't need to place them there. So actually palms won't be on the floor while we have our weight. Our hands will be stabilizing the weight. And so let's go ahead, press into the blocks with our feet and then raise your hips towards the ceiling and hold it here. Your chest will raise towards your chin, gazing at the ceiling, and slowly lower, very controlled. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Pressing into your blocks, engaging your muscles, feeling your shoulder blades on the mat. Slowly lower. Let's do that again, pressing into the mat. And slowly lower. You can feel this in your hamstrings too. Let's do it again. Press into your shoulders into the mat, your feet into your blocks, and then slowly lower. Go ahead and gently remove the weight. Place that on the floor. And we're going to go ahead and bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and just rock back and forth. Very good. Now let's go ahead and we're going to slowly come back up to a seated position, and go ahead and you can rock yourself using your abs back to a seated position and just slide your blocks off towards the end of your mat. And let's go ahead and we're going to flip over and we're going to go back to our plank, forearm plank pose with our leg extensions. So let's go ahead, lower our arms down. Once you have your balance in your forearms, tuck your toes under and then come into your plank. Raise your right leg, foot is flexed, gaze is towards the mat, ab is engaged, and lower. Raise your left leg and lower. Right leg, lower, left leg, lower, right leg, lower, left leg, lower. Slowly drop your knees, tuck your toes under, and push back into restorative child's pose. Let's go ahead and move into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, go ahead and push up, move your hips back, pedal your heels. When you're ready, hop or step to the front of your mat. We're going to go ahead and slowly straighten your knees, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, and bringing your shoulders back. Let's go ahead and grab our weights again. And this time, we're going to come to the back of our mat, facing the front. And we're going to be stepping, we're going to do these same lunges. Again, either your weights are one in each hand, or you might be holding one weight in the center. And we're going to step forward. So I'm going to step forward with my right foot and lunge down and step back. Left foot. And again, my knee is just very lightly tapping the floor, tapping the mat, so that I know I'm going into the lunge really as deep as I can. And just alternating, moving with your breath. Very good. Keep going. Let's do a few more on each side. And I'm going to make mine even. One more on the left side and stepping back. And go ahead and shake your legs out. And you can meet me in the middle of your mat. If you had one weight, go ahead and pick up your other weight. Our feet are a little more than hip width apart. My toes are facing out a little bit at an angle. Let's go into our hammer curl, overhead press, triceps extension, raise, lower your press, and your curl. And let's keep moving through this little series. Engaging your glutes, engaging your abs. Good job. A few more. Curl, press, extension, lift up, lower and lower. Let's do two more. And one more. You can do this. Very good. Let's go ahead. We'll place our weights on the floor. And we're also going to take a seated position ourselves on the floor. Actually, grab your one weight because we'll want it near us for the bridges. Let's go ahead and come to a seated position. Let's do our seated forward fold again. So we're seated in the middle of the mat. Everything's nice and squared off. Our knees can be bent a little bit. Let's raise our arms up overhead and then slowly hinge. Bringing our belly towards our thighs, our head towards our knees. If you want to go a little bit deeper in the pose, on your next exhale, go ahead and straighten your knees just a little bit more. Go ahead and walk your hands up your legs. Go ahead, shake them out a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring our hands behind us. Our palms are on the floor. Our fingertips are facing towards the end of our mat. And we're just going to bring our shoulders back. Work on just really bringing your shoulder blades together. Gazing up to the ceiling, opening the heart. This is really good if you work at a desk all day too. So let's flex the feet, then point the toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. And one more time. Very good. And let's slowly release. So let's go ahead. We'll scooch down our mat a little bit. We'll put our feet on our blocks on our mat for that traction. The top bottoms of our feet on our blocks. And we're going to prepare for our weights and bridges. So again, hold your weight over your hips, both shoulders, shoulder blades, you should feel them on your mat. And you're going to press into your blocks with your feet and raising your hips towards the ceiling. Squeezing your legs and your glutes. Relaxing your jaw. Slowly lower, nice and controlled. And again, pushing your hips towards the ceiling. Slowly lower, nice and controlled. And again, hips towards the ceiling. And slowly lower. And one more time, hips towards the ceiling. Engaging and squeezing those muscles. And slowly lower. And go ahead and push your blocks away from your mat with your feet. Put your weight on the floor. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock back and forth. Take happy baby if you like. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just do a nice rock up into seated position, but come back to the middle of your mat. And we're going to go ahead and straighten your right leg. Bring your left leg over your right with your knee. And we're just going to do a nice seated twist. Take your right arm. You're going to put the socket of your right elbow into your left knee. And then you're going to look over your left shoulder. Flexing your right foot. Nice, easy gaze. And then slowly release. You can self-assist. Go ahead and straighten your left leg. Right knee is bent. Foot is over your left leg. I'm going to take the inside of my left elbow, wrap it around my right knee, place my hand back towards the end of my mat, gaze over my right shoulder, and flex my left foot. Slowly release. Go ahead and shake your legs out. We're going to go ahead, and I know this is a shorter video for those that just really like to get a little bit of activity in each day. But let's go ahead and just do a short Shavasana because we want to balance movement with pause. So let's go ahead, and knees are bent, your arms are out on each side, stretching, but we're slowly lowering down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, engaging your abs. And then slowly relax into corpse pose. Find what's comfortable for you. Close your eyes, relax your jaw. And we'll just take a few minutes. Like I said, if we need to balance. We are active with our muscles. We need to balance with resting our muscles. Slowly bring motion back to your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, roll over to one side. When you're ready, push into the mat and come up to a seated position. If you can, keeping your eyes closed. Go ahead and raise both arms up overhead, just like we started our practice. Inhaling through the nose, lowering, exhaling through the mouth, cleansing. Inhaling through the nose, raising arms up, exhaling through the mouth. One more time. Raising up overhead, exhaling down to the side. Go ahead and slowly open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining this practice. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And go ahead and do this video a few times a week. See how this works for you, the flexibility and the strength that you gain. Set a goal for yourself, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and go ahead and drop in the comments. I'd love to hear how this particular practice helps with your flexibility in building your strength. Thank you and have a great day.